be moderating the first session of the opening. And before that, I would like to recognize Excellencies, especially the government representative representing both knowledge and education, His Excellency Dr. Tolera. And I would like to also recognize Perpero, representing the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, and he is team leader for economic development and job creation. And I also recognize the individual representative and the regional director, Moringa. And we are also very grateful for the UNIDO who have been working with us for quite several years, I think over 5 or 6 years since I was on Moringa project and the other project, and also very much grateful for the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation for working in Ethiopia, particularly also with our ministry. We have other portfolios, including the food fortification and Moringa. And with this remark, I will invite Frederick to briefly introduce the agenda of the project. Frederick is the project manager at UNIDO. In particular, this project will briefly introduce the agenda, and then following that, we will directly go to the official opening and the keynote speech. I will read all of you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I hope everyone is fine. I just want to open the agenda. I hope you can see it. This is a knowledge sharing workshop, and we hope that at the end of this workshop, we will be able to educate in terms of knowing what other uses Moringa can be applied in, and then also we'll be able to promote sustainable practices along the Moringa value chain. Because once we know the uses of Moringa and how we can exploit Moringa, we need to do this in a sustainable manner. So through this workshop, we hope that we'll be able to emphasize on eco-friendly and ethical approaches to maximize the benefit of Moringa. At the same time, we are able to do it in a sustainable manner. And then we also will be able, at the end of this workshop, to demonstrate the product diversity in terms of the products that are possible to be made through the Moringa. And we'll be able to showcase that Moringa is not just a fruit, but it's a tree that provides life and also provides value for sustainable development. And then we look at opportunity, especially for the knowledge part of it, with opportunity for networking. We have experts here that are working in different parts of Moringa. So by bringing these experts together, we hope that Moringa brings to the ecosystem have been proven to be true. That Moringa is a tree that nourishes. It's a nature-based solution for nourishing the body and nurturing, especially for younger people, nurturing life to where it's expected to be. So I hope that today, at the end of today, we will be able to share these insights on Moringa, and we'll be able also to encourage entrepreneurs that are here to be able to take this information and then create products and services that will be able to support the Moringa sector, not only in Ethiopia, but also in the region. We hope that this journey we are starting now will be able to go beyond the workshop and scale up Moringa into the entire Ethiopian region, and also go beyond Ethiopia and take Moringa to the international level. So without going beyond this, I would like to wish you a fruitful discussion, and I hope that the exchange that will start today.
Without further ado, I will invite His Excellency Dr. Tolera to give us a welcoming speech. Dr. Tolera.
Good morning.
His Excellency Dr. Mr. Nagash Suli, Deputy Director General for Food and Drug Authority, His Excellency Pablo Pergami, Team Leader for Economic Development and Creation at the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation, Her Excellency Ms. Aurela Caravaro, UNIDO Director and Director of Regional Office, Dr. Tasfai, Vice President of Urban University Representative, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning again. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this important workshop that all knowledge management workshop entitled Addressing Hunger and Micronutrient Deficiency, exploring the potential of Moringa value chain. As you all know, through Government Institute, the technical arm of the Federal Ministry of Health is striving towards the achievement of sustainable development goals in Ethiopia by addressing health nutrition-related problems through intervention-based research and contributing to the effective implementation of the National Food Nutrition Strategy. With the recent government reform, the Institute has put special attention to the government and reforming system, including the structure. This new structure added new roles to government agencies such as National Health and Health-related Data Repository and Analysis Center. I am also proud to mention that the Institute is selected as the Center of Excellence in Eastern and Central Africa for Periodic Food Tabling Initiative, that took and study molecular and bioactive component of foods. Addressing all forms of malnutrition is critical to achieve sustainable development goals. The policy landscape for nutrition has improved in Ethiopia. Also, our investment policies and programs in ensuring challenges in Ethiopia have yielded substantial decline in infant and under 5 mortality. However, we still have the health and well-being of its population. Today, I want to talk to you about the incredible benefits of Moringa in Ethiopia. Moringa, also known as the drumstick tree or the miracle tree, is a plant that is native to parts of Africa and Asia, including Ethiopia. It has long been prized for its nutrition and medicinal properties, and its leaf, seeds, fruits are all used for various purposes. One of the key benefits of Moringa is high nutritional value. The leaves of the Moringa tree are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, making them a valuable source of nutrients for people in Ethiopia. Where malnutrition is a significant issue, Moringa leaves are packed with vitamin A, C, and E, as well as calcium, magnesium, and iron, all of which are essential for good health. In addition to its nutritional value, Moringa also has several medicinal properties, as several studies pointed out. It is known to have anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antifungal properties, and has been used in traditional medicine in Ethiopia for centuries to treat a variety of ailments. Moringa leaves can be made into teas, powders, or extracts that can help boost the immune system, lower blood sugar, and improve digestion. Furthermore, Moringa is a sustainable crop that can be easily grown in Ethiopia. The trees are fast growing and drought resistant, making them ideal for the country's climate. They also have deep root systems that help improve soil quality and prevent erosion, making them an environmentally friendly crop to cultivate. Thus, Moringa is a truly remarkable plant that has potential to improve the health and well-being of people in Ethiopia. It is nutrition and medicinal property as well as sustainability make it an invaluable resource for combating malnutrition and promoting overall health in the country. In cultivation and utilization hold immense potential not only to improve food security and nutrition, but also generate income, create employment opportunities, and foster communities development, particularly in rural areas. Today's gathering marks a pivotal moment as we come together to explore ways to harness this potential and unlock the transformative power of Moringa value chain. Through collaborative efforts and strategic partnership, we aim to leverage existing resource, expertise, and innovation to support smallholder farmers, empower women and youth, and promote sustainable agricultural practices. As we embark on this journey, let us remain guided by our shared vision of building resilient, inclusive, and thriving rural communities. Together we can make a meaningful difference in the lives of millions of Ethiopians while contributing to the broader goal of health and economic development. I encourage all of you to actively engage in today's discussion, exchange ideas, and identify concrete actions that will propel the Moringa value chain forward and drive positive change at the grassroots level. Finally, I would like to thank UNIDO and the Ethiopian Agency for Development Cooperation for the technical leadership and financial support to perform the projects and also this workshop. I would also like to congratulate UNIDO and Ethiopian Public Health Institute team for successful organization of this workshop. With this remark, I would like to affirm the Ministry of Health and Ethiopian Public Health Institute commitment to utilize the workshop output. I thank you.
And other benefit of Moringa food or Moringa as Moringa food. Thank you so much for that, and also for those commitment to support this project will be really implemented, and as well as the result of this workshop, especially the scientific input, could be translated using the program. Thank you so much. And with this, I will pass to the next opening speech, which will be by Polo, as introducing his Indian Economic Development Cooperation, Italian Agency for Development Cooperation. Also, please welcome
good security and economic development for Ethiopia, in Ethiopia. Today, we come together here to focus on approaches that not only are addressing processing food challenges in the country, but also pave the way for sustainable. The decade of experience of the Italian cooperation in Ethiopia has made the Italian Agency for Development Cooperation promote an approach rooted on the belief that the best way to foster sustainable development it is by leveraging the remarkable richness and opportunities of this Ethiopian land. Its people, first of all, the culture and the wealth of its natural resources. All this value chain program and also the Italian funded programs in the agriculture field are example of this approach and action toward sustainable development solutions. We believe that Moringa, together with other agricultural commodities, represent a trove of wealth for Ethiopia in combating malnutrition, in enhancing agricultural productivity and bolstering economic opportunities, particularly in regions facing food insecurity. Moringa nutritional value, versatility, and ability to thrive in diverse climate makes it an asset we all we must leverage on. This Moringa project is a proof that it's possible to catalyze transformative changes across the value chain by creating a quality standard that can guarantee market access and consequently increase the value of the product, empower communities, and unlock the full potential of this remarkable, sustainable local resource. Furthermore, Moringa confirms that the centrality of agriculture sector in driving economic growth, poverty reduction, and structural transformation of the country. By improving the productivity and quality of Moringa value chain, the nutritional level of the project, the nutritional level of the involved communities, and the economic participation and income of women is definitely increased. So we witness that the Italian cooperation emphasis on inclusive growth and social empowerment align with the ethos of Moringa cultivation. By prioritizing the participation of smallholder farmers, especially women, we can foster equitable development and create a pathway of prosperity. I sincerely hope that the discussion and insight of this workshop can be effectively applied to combat malnutrition and enhance the overall well-being of Ethiopian people. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all project partners for the dedication to this project and for the good result achieved from the project. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a very nice opening speech. Really likes go well. Thank you so much for this. And the final official opening remark will be by Moringa, who is the United representative and also the regional directors. Yeah, over to Mr.
Nachu, and then I'm Nachu. So everybody else has forgotten that we are in Ethiopia, yeah, and it is a beautiful town of Addis Ababa. Dr. Getachew Tolera, Deputy Director General of the Ethiopian Public Health Institute. Good morning. Pierpaolo Bergamini, Team Leader of Economic Development and Job Creation at the Italian Agency for Cooperation and Development in Addis Ababa. I would like to recognize Dr. Tesfaye, Vice President of the Alba Beach University, Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to officially open this important knowledge management event entitled Archening the Potential of Moringa for Food Security and Economic Development, under the auspices of the project entitled Improved Rural Livelihood through Support to Moringa Value Chain Development in the southern region of Ethiopia. This is a project that stays very much to my heart because together with my sister and very good friend Dr. Lemlem, we started this project in 2015, at least the first phase, initially from scratch, so there was nothing. And I am particularly grateful to my country because I am an Italian national, also today I feel very much Ethiopian, you know, and at the time it was the southern region, local government, and the first lady, the former first lady, the Sky Roman, who have really given this chance to provide us land and other facilities, and of course the Italian government that has supported through the ICE, you see, the agency, development agency, the project. And that is why I would like to thank Italy for the financial support for this project in 2 phases. And I also wish to extend appreciation to the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ethiopian Public Health Institute, the Institute of Ethiopian Standards, the Southern Ethiopian Regional Government, and all other stakeholders for their support, which is key to accelerating the successful implementation of the project. The government of Ethiopia recognizes the importance of agriculture and agro-processing for GDP growth, job creation, and overall economic development is one of the pillars of this homegrown economic reform plan, the numbers 2, and they talk about this agricultural transformation. This project aligns with the country goals of promoting agriculture and agro-processing as a key driver of economic growth and development. The United Nations Industrial Development Organization strives to promote and accelerate industrial development and developing countries and economies in transition, and among the different tasks and responsibilities, we are taking care and providing technical assistance to member states, supporting them to develop and implement industrial strategies, policies and programs to promote inclusive, sustainable industrial development. We also provide capacity building, enhancing institutional and human capacity in various areas of industrial development, including technology transfer, innovation, entrepreneurship, industrial skill development, and also I would very much put here tech capacity building and quality and safety, particularly. That is why our close cooperation with the Ethiopian Public Health Institute. We also offer policy advice to governments in the area of industrial development to support them in formulating and implementing policies conducive to industrialization, economic growth, and poverty eradication. Facilitating investment and technology transfer, enhancing countries' ability to attract foreign investment, adopt appropriate technologies, and integrate them into global value chains. Promoting sustainable industrial practices to environmental, sustainable, and socially inclusive industrial practices, including the resources, efficiency, clean production of renewable energy. Supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, enhancing productivity, competitiveness, and access to markets, finance, and technology, fostering industrial partnership among governments, private sector entities, development organization, academia, and civil society to promote industrial development and achieve sustainable development goals. And overall, you need to catalyze this industrial development working collaboratively with governments, businesses and other stakeholders to promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization for economic growth and development, and also under the motto Progress for Innovation. UNIDO partners with the Ethiopian government in ensuring food security as it remains of paramount importance. With a rapidly growing population, recurring droughts, and the impact of climate change, the need for innovative solutions to enhance agricultural productivity and improve nutrition has never been more urgent. Fortunately, Ethiopia's rich agricultural resources offer immense potential to promote agro-processing as a driver of economic growth and prosperity. Let's not only talk about the potential, but also put this potential in practices. Today, our focus is on exploring the role of Moringa, a remarkable plant with significant nutritional and economic benefits, in advancing these goals. Known as the miracle tree, Moringa thrives in Ethiopia's diverse agroecological zone and offers opportunities along its value chain to enhance food security, promote agro-processing, and stimulate economic development. As we embark on this journey, we must recognize the interconnected nature of the challenges we face. Emphasizing the significance of Moringa as a staple fruit in southern Ethiopia and leveraging the lessons learned from the project in the southern Ethiopian regional state can be a powerful catalyst for promoting the development and consumption of Moringa. This region's experience provides a valuable insight into the challenges and opportunities associated with integrating Moringa into local food systems and communities. We are also Dr. Landan willing to scale it up to other regions of Ethiopia, by the way. By scaling up successful initiatives and best practices from this region, we can accelerate progress towards actioning the full potential of Moringa across Ethiopia. This includes not only promoting its cultivation and consumption, but also addressing issues related to agronomic practices, post-harvest handling, processing, value addition, and market development. Today's gathering is very important as several research papers result, some published in important peer-reviewed journals, are going to be presented to inform the public about the importance and the potential of Moringa to contribute to food and nutrition security, contributing to the livelihood, to the rural communities and to jobs for the youth and women. In conclusion, I look forward to this meeting and wish you successful deliberations, and so I wish to declare this workshop officially open. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for very nice opening remark. And the workshop is now officially open. Thank you so much also for your future plan, which you want to expand the project beyond the SNDPI. Also for great news, and we also look forward to supporting that commitment. So before
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends who remain in the journey of the Moringa Marketing Development Project. It's a great pleasure to see you all this morning. Until I organize my presentation. Well, I would like to go through highlights of the Moringa project, which is entitled Improve Rural Livelihood to Support the Moringa Value Chain Development, in southern, formerly known as NPR, but currently it is a southern Ethiopian regional government. This project is implemented jointly with FAO and the regional government Bureau of Culture. Today's highlight, which I'm going to present, is going to be on the activities what UNIDO has been doing. But as a surprise this morning, my friend Saranita is here. She was not supposed to be here today, but she's here. She might also give us a few minutes or a few words on the activities what UNIDO is doing. But I will go through the UNIDO activities. I will refrain from talking about the value, the importance of Moringa, because there are a number of very senior and very seasoned researchers, professionals here who have been working in the Moringa sector and the Moringa research and development. So I will refrain from that one because it's not going to be correct. But I will try to take you through the journey of the project what we have been doing. As a background, as well as always, UNIDO is working with the national governments. The official request came from the Ethiopian government to support the rural communities in the area to improve their livelihood. So what we did is we were looking into the value chains which are important, indigenous, and at the same time also underutilized and have the potential to harness. When we did that, when we start assessing the project areas, the southern regional government endorsed the project idea. So we started working in the southern region and we identified Moringa as underutilized endemic plant, and at the same time millions of people are utilizing it on a daily basis, but it's really undermined and underutilized. So we looked into it. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. So for this, we thank again the Italian Development Corporation for providing the funding. When we started the project, I don't think that anybody believed that it's going to be something. So the Italian Development Corporation gave us a 1-year pilot project to start and to prove that what we're talking about is going to be implemented. In 1 year, we have done what we could do, and accordingly, immediately the Italian Development Corporation came back to us and provided us with a bigger funding. It was about 4 million euros, bringing on board FAO and the Bureau of Agriculture. As I said, it's jointly implemented by the Bureau of Agriculture and Southern Ethiopian Regional Government Bureau of Agriculture. I mean, to highlight the achievements so far, we organized the communities in cooperatives. And this cooperative is called Zaise Talai Moringa Marketing Cooperative. Zaise is the area where we are operational, and Talai is Moringa in their language. So the cooperative themselves, the members are the ones who suggested the name to be like this, because we are working with a very close, starting using Moringa beyond their knowledge. Of course, they know more than us. They know a lot. They use it on a daily basis. But we started engaging the community, started from a social coaching at the community level. Then we developed training materials in Amharic and in a local language also. If you see the left side of the recipe, it's not well visible. That is a recipe which is developed. That is that icon is I think for the live. Products, wheat, maize, insects. With this, I thank you so much. I'm sure if you let me, I will talk the whole day about Moringa, but I think this is important. This, and thank you very much for being in this journey with us. Thank you.
fascinating, this country, because one of the reasons why Ethiopia, or Eritrea representing the Eastern Africa and the Central, is Ethiopia is a very indigenous country. We have a lot of indigenous food which has not been known by many countries, maybe in several continents. So that's the main reason. I think that initiative has, will also be aligned with this kind of activities. And there are also other, there might be several other novel food or non-food types which we can contribute in, I think. I think it's also a great lesson for us as donors, I think, also, as well as for the development agencies which could support and work on this kind of project. I think we all need to promote
this crop that is representing a very important crop for the community communities that are located in the southern part of the country, particularly in the Goma district close to Arpamich. At the time, they were part of the southern regions of Ethiopia. And so this Moringa is called Moringa, and in Ethiopia is also an endemic species that is different. There are different kinds of species in the world, but the one in Ethiopia is very unique from the other. The other mainly are olifera. This one is Stenopetala. And so we had to create the profile of this Stenopetala Moringa and create and organize a commercial business to support particularly women, rural women that are located and that they use this crop as everyday life. So we have been working very closely with the Bureau of Agriculture of the region, and the government, the local government, provided us land to cultivate in the proper way close to the Lake of Chamo. And so from that we started from nurseries up to finished products, so in various value chains, and that's during the first phase of this program. But at the same time, we had to also work at the federal level here with the Ethiopian Public Health Institute. They have a very important department on these medical, let's say, herbs, you see, and also providing equipment to make sure that what is known as Moringa is then possibly good to be commercialized in your shops and in your areas. You see, as a tea, as a powder, and as a kind of mild product. And so we work a lot with the PHI. We work also with the Drug Administration and the quality standard agency. So we need to make sure when we deal with crops that you are going to eat, that they have also in line with the safety regulations. Furthermore, we work with the University of Wasa and the University of Arpamich to profile this Stenopetala Moringa and understanding what are the nutritious, characteristics of the Ethiopian Moringa. And now we are during this phase of this project. We are working with FAO, so FAO is taken over from us all the parts related to the production, while we have concentrated more on the processing and the marketing of the crop. You see, processing meaning that we established a processing plant that is now very soon going to be inaugurated, where different products will be commercialized in Ethiopia and possibly also outside Ethiopia, in the region and in other parts of the world. But we would like first to start the testing in the country, you see, and then, maybe start to expand it in the region. So this has been a really program of grassroots. We work with particularly women, group of women. We establish cooperatives of women. And so you can imagine this is a very important community-based program that is sustained by the community and also on the valorization of a crop that is Ethiopian, endemic, that sometimes you don't give too much importance, but it is very important from a nutritious point of view, especially for women who are giving birth, for as animal feed, to prepare different products for commercialization, like soap, for cosmetics. So there are different ways and applications, and so we are particularly proud in this program because I have started actually together with the project team, with Dr. Lemlem, who has been working very closely with me, and believed in developing in a sort of scientific way. There is a lot of research work also being conducted. During the workshop of today, we are presenting different research work that we have conducted, particularly with the University of Urban Reach, to witness and also support the application of Moringa to different activities, even for water purification. We have done some testing, and it is so we are trying to utilize crops that are endemic to the country, so that we go to this import substitution that is in line with the general mission of the country, of this administration.
How is video practice in festival? How is it also in the future?
Well, UNIDO has been in Ethiopia since 1968, and also we have to thank the government of Ethiopia, or the different governments of Ethiopia, that have supported our work in the country. In these last, let's say, 10 years, we have been implementing what is called the Program for Country Partnership, that is based on three main sectors, where Ethiopia believes to have a comparative advantage, that is the agro-processing, agro-industry sector, and different agro-value chain, where also Moringa is part of it, but we are supporting the realization of mega programs, and particularly we are known for having supported the government in the establishment of these integrated agro-industrial parks, you see. And then we are working in the field of livestock, leather and leather products, particularly in Mojo, where we are willing to establish a leather park, the Mojo Leather City, where there is already a geographical cluster of different talents there. And also we are working in the textiles, so cotton, textile and apparel sector with capacity building programs. Of course, there are different cross-cutting issues, you see, and such as job creations, investment, attraction of investment, marketing and branding Ethiopia, outside the countries. We work a lot on climate action, activities and energy efficiencies, and different programs are being involved and implemented in the country sectors.
About my questions, how does UNIDO evaluate this process? In this scheme, what status are the person influence this effort?
you see, you have to understand that, you know, Ethiopia has gone through, big changes, you see. You see, I have been kind of considered myself a witness of these changes, at least in the last 35 years, because I work in Ethiopia since the Derby time, you see. And in those days, you see, there was eating very little because everything was very much in the hands of the public, the government, because everything was nationalized. So starting from, let's say, 95, I could see that there's been a gradual handing over of these public entities to, to the private sector. So the private sector started to do it and so on. But we could see that in the last, let's say, 5-6 years, we have really seen a major transformation in the country. That is, of course, with work in the traditional sector that are the agro-industrial sector or agro-related, but there has been also a very important move in establishing infrastructures, you see, and also looking at also opening the countries, modernizing some sectors like telecommunications, also trying to get independent from food supplies. You see, we have this important cluster on agriculture that is producing additional wheat for the country. So there are a lot of parameters that are on track in certain sectors to increase the contribution, the achievement of the sustainable development goal. But no one of the countries in the world is going to reach the full achievement of the sustainable development goals by end of 2010. But there are important progress that the country is doing, towards that the implementation of these 17, sustainable development goals. And I think that the country is on the right track to achieve in the long term these goals. But it has to be done in a kind of gradual way. And in my opinion, I am very optimistic that there will be major result in most of the goals we have set up. What is very important is, of course, the commitment, you see, of us, you see, as a development partners to support the government in achieving, but you see, I am convinced that the driver of this achievement remains in the hands of the countries, not in the hands of the development countries. The development partners. You see, because you are the owner of your in this long-term, work that I have conducted in the country, in different parts of my career with UNIDO. I have been very happy to work with the different governments, and particularly with this one now, because you know exactly what you want, and we can only facilitate the work, but the work cannot depend on development countries, you see, development partners. You have to make sure that in direction we are just having to support the goals that you are putting for your development in order to
ያው ሞሪንጋ የሚደረገው ያው ማህበረሰቡ ዘመናት ጥቅሙ አካባቢ ስለዚህ የአግሪካልቸር ሴክተር ማረጋገጥ አንጻር ፕሬዘንቴሽን አካባቢ በሚጠቀምበት ጊዜ አፈራ ባህሪ ምናልባት ከተለያዩ ነገሮች ሌሎች ደግሞ ከሚጠራሹ ስደት የሚባሉ ጠቅልሎ ከሚያዙ አንጻር የምግብ ፍላጎት ከተማን አንጻር ከመስጠት አንጻር አንድ ሆና ብዙ ከመስጠት አንጻር ሀገር ሌላው ጓሯቸው እየተከሉ ለራሳቸው ከመስጠትም አልፎ ለቤተሰባቸው ለአካባቢ ለሀገር በኢኮኖሚ ምክንያቱም ብሎ ሸምቶ ከሚሸጥ አለፈ በየትኛው የኢትዮጵያ ክፍል በአፍሪካ በሌላው ኤክስፖርት ተደርጎ ኢኮኖሚ ሊያሳድግ የሚፈልግ ከሆነ ወደ ኢንዱስትሪ መቀየር ይቻላል። ስለዚህ ከዛ አንጻር የተለያዩ የምርት አይነቶች እየታሸገ የሚሰጠው አገልግሎት ኢኮኖሚ ያስባለን። ሌላ ሞሪንጋ በጣም ብዙ ነገሮችን በጥናት ሲሰራ የተለያዩ ሀገሮች አይነቶች እንደሚያሳዩ ብዙ በሽታዎችን ከመከላከል አንጻር በተለያዩ በሽታዎችን ከመከላከል አንጻር እንግዲህ ሀገር ያሉ ሞሪንጋዎች በጥናት ተደርገው ሁሉ የምግብነት እኛ ፈልገን መጀመሪያ የለየን ሳይሆን ማህበረሰቡ ሲጠቀም ስለነበረ ምግብነት የሚለው ግን በምን ያህል ከሌሎች ምግቦች ጋር እንዴት ጠቀሙ ይገባል ኦቨር በሚመገበው ምን ጉዳቶች ሊያመጣ ይችላል የሚለው ጥናቶችን እያደረገ ያለን ግን ማህበረሰቡ ምግብነት ረዥም ጊዜ ሲጠቀሙበት የቆየው ማለት ነው። እኛም እንደ ኢትዮጵያ ኢትዮጵያ ሰፊና ሚስት ወደ 100 ዓመት ቆይነት በሚባል የባህላዊ እና የዘመናዊ መድኃኒቶችን ምርት ጥናት አሉ። ስለዚህ ከዛ አንጻር ጥናቶች እየተሰሩ ዘመናትን በስጋ ጉዳቶች ያመጣል የሚለው ከዚህ ወቅት የሚገርም ነገር ሁሉም ይዞ መሄድ አለበት ብለን የምናስበው አገር በቀል የሆኑ ሊበሉ የሚችሉ ለመድኃኒትም ሊሆኑ የሚችሉ በጣም ያለን አገር ነው። እነዚህ ነገሮች ከተለየም በኋላ ደግሞ ብዙ አካባቢ ላይ በባህላዊ ከምትጠቀሙ በላይ ሁሉም በአገሪቱ ውስጥ ጥቅም ላይ የሚውልበት መንገድ በተለይ እሴት እየጨመረን ወደ ምርት እየቀየረ ለጥቅም ነው። እንደዚህ የሆኑ ጥናቶቹ ደግሞ የሚያሳዩት ይህን ከኢትዮጵያ ባለፈ መልኩ ገቢ ልናመጣበት የሚችል ቅድም የተገለጸው በጣም ትልቁ ነገር እዚህ ምርት ላይ የተሳተፉት ሴቶች ናቸው። 85% ሴቶች ናቸው። አማራጭ ሴቶች ናቸው። ምርት ላይ ያሉት ሴቶች ናቸው። ይሄ ትልቅ ነው። ምክንያቱም ቤተሰብ ተሳትፏል። ሁለተኛ ሴቶች ምርታማ እንደሆኑ የራሳቸውን ያመነጩ ብቻ ሳይሆን ሴቶች በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ትልቁ ሚናቸው ህጻናትን ማሳደግ ስለሆነ ስለዚህ ለህጻናት ተገቢ ከማሟላት አንጻር ወደፊት ከመላክ አንጻር የሴቶችን ወደፊት መጥቶ ተጽዕኖ ተቋቁሞ ለሀገር አበርክቶ የሚኖራቸው ትልቅ የተሰራ ነው። እንደዚህ ስለሆኑ ብቻ ሳይሆን ከዚህ ነው ወስደ ወደ ሌሎች
In terms of the seed, right now the seed, Moringa has high seed protein, 43.6%. It's very, very high as compared to plant seeds. And the oil, Moringa, very stable because of the fatty acid, the monofatty acid called oleic fatty acid, which is about 71%. So this confers Moringa oil to be stable. If you can eat Moringa for years, nothing will happen because of the stability of the fatty acid profiles. In terms of, as I said before, now this routine gives Moringa to be powerful antioxidants. So we did ORAC, what we call it oxygen radical absorbent capacity, the scavenging capacity of free radicals in the body. Moringa has a very appreciable thing. This is one of the most important slides of this presentation. Look at this. What is in Moringa? When we compare all the plant seed proteins from rice to soybean, everybody knows soybean is the gold standard of plant seed protein. Look at Moringa. This is FAO data. We brought this one from FAO data. This is our data. So Moringa is now exceeding everyone, even as compared to soybean, which shows that Moringa has the potential to have a seed protein for a commercial level. Excellent fatty acid profile. So this is just, I don't want to return too much data here, so but briefly, this is how we extracted the protein from dehuling extraction using cold press, and we compare even the seed protein of Moringa and soybean. So Moringa is significantly higher than soybean. This is a protein powder that we were able to extract. This is a protein isolate. We found Moringa having all the essential amino acids. Right now we have a graduate student. She's working on the functional property of Moringa protein, the extraction of the protein. So we'll see. So it has a big potential for as ingredient, especially right now people are going with this plant-based protein. So Moringa has a huge potential. Basically, last February I was in Ethiopia. Now one of the things that really inspires me when Dr. London took me to our village. And when I saw the cooperatives, it really, this is what I was looking for. That was a gap. So I believe that through the cooperative, we can build a relationship, a partnership that can make it a sustainable production of Moringa. At the end of the day, it will empower farmers and it can bring, foreign currency to the country. So we have scientists in Canada, Ethiopia, and USA. That's very interesting. So one other interesting story, what we did is the oil. I think I saw the cooperative were able to produce the oil, but here, in collaboration with another biotech company in California, we were able to change the oil into emulsion. This emulsion has a lot of
applications as ingredient for coffee, for juice, and so on. So this is what I think Dr. Baba next later this morning is going to give us more talk about this is his profession. So food grade stable nanoemulsions. He will tell us more about this. This is some of the products that were developed in Canada. Tea, as in Ethiopia also has been done. But there are some interesting here. The cosmetics products, especially the serum, the anti-aging serum, the moisturizing serum, and salve, Moringa salve. So these are all has been based on the attributes of Moringa oil. Were able to do this. So there is a huge potential in the future. This is just marketing Moringa of the oleifera. Look at oleifera. Oleifera to reach about 10.4 billion by 2032. By 2020, oleifera was bringing about 7 billion. I think Stenopetala has the same potential, but we haven't started yet. But there's a big potential, but in terms of Moringa oleifera, it's a multi-billion dollar business. These are where the outlets are, where the Moringa outlets, supermarkets, the convenience stores, specialty stores, and online stores. The other thing is just, this is not part of this presentation, it's about food. One interesting thing is with the University of Manitoba in Canada, with engineers, they were very interested to see Moringa shake. The share of Moringa to develop water and wastewater treatment of activated carbon. Look at this. This is a dye basically in Ethiopia, for example, from factories, from industries. This waste. When you add Moringa activated carbon, it changes into this. I would be very uncomfortable to talk about this. It's not my profession, but they told us that Moringa has that potential, zero waste. The one that farmers saw. The shell can produce very powerful anti-activated carbon. The other things in terms of recognizing Moringa, recently we were invited by the famous publisher in the UK. So Moringa was chosen, Moringa Stenopetala was chosen one of the chapters. So it was published in a peer-reviewed journal. So this will be big in terms of disseminating the information to the world. So this is one of the plant-based food book. Moringa Stenopetala was chosen there. So in terms of the scientific and the internal world thing, this would be good because it gives this confirmation. We have also another paper which is under review. That's my talk. So I'd like to take my collaborators. Our collaborators are University of Manitoba in Canada, Addis Ababa University, Institute of Biotechnology, the Food Development Center of Canada, and there is another company here in California. And the funding for this research was given by the Canadian government through the NRC Industrial Research Assistance Program, IRAP. Thank you for your attention. I hope through this workshop we can build some productive partnerships. Hopefully Moringa can be one of the leading commodities in Ethiopia if we work together, organizations. So I'm excited to work with all the stakeholders. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much, Dr. Asa. Can you give the applause? Because he may not be there during the Q&A, we may entertain a few questions to him before he signs off. Yeah. So, are there anyone with any questions or any comment on his presentation? He may not be there when we are doing the question and answer. So, if you have any question, you can ask now before he signs off. He has graciously stayed late to allow us to benefit from his research.
What will be on this topic, nutrition profile of Moringa and potential for food and nutrition security. And some of the contents could be related to the issues dealt by the previous speakers, so I will skip those issues. So food and nutrition security, global hunger statistics shows that there has been a decline since 2005 with this global hunger statistics, or the prevalence of undernourishment has shown a decline, but since COVID, you can see the figure is increasing again. And according to the 2022 result, it shows that the prevalence of undernourishment is affecting around 9.2% of the world population, which is in figure between 691 up to 783 million population is on undernourishment. This is just simply lack of getting adequate energy for the daily requirement. This is referring only the energy. If we translate into other micronutrients, the problem is devastating. So we are not on track, I can say. If you look at the continental data, Africa is highly suffering with this prevalence of undernutrition, which is about 20%, and this can be translated into almost 280 million African population is undernourished, which means if you take this again to the regional data shows that about 135 million population is undernourished. And you can imagine how much Ethiopia is also contributing to this figure. And again, the SDG data shows that by 2030, ending hunger and ensure access by all people, in particular the poor and people in vulnerable situations, including infants, to safe, nutritious and sufficient food for all year round. And as I mentioned earlier, this target is referring not only the energy requirement, but also the safe and adequate diet, access to safe and nutritious diet. So according to the current projection, in 2030, about 600 million people will be chronically undernourished, so we are food and nutrition security. So I just pick one indicator from this food and nutrition strategy, and this strategic direction, number one, tells us that to ensure availability, accessibility, and utilization of diversified, safe, and nutritious foods in a sustainable way. And under this direction, what is identified as an objective is to improve the availability and accessibility of adequate, diversified, safe, and nutritious food for all citizens. So it's an interesting objective. And from this strategic objective, an indicator is already identified. In order to ensure this, indicator like number of neglected and underutilized nutritious food is already identified. So the Ministry of Agriculture takes the lead for this activity, and annually the Ministry of Agriculture is supposed to identify underutilized resources to promote the food and nutrition, to contribute to the food and nutrition security. And when we look at this is identified as an indicator, so we have to explore those underutilized resources, which are actually abundant globally in Africa as well. And Ethiopia is also known as a center of diversity for underutilized resources, but the world is shrinking the diet to very few of the food items. Amazingly, 90% of the calories in the human diet is provided by 100 crops, and out of these, only 4 of them are providing the energy. 60% of the energy that we need, like rice, wheat, maize, and potatoes. So the dietary diversity is declining, or the underutilized resources are becoming neglected. Yes, so we need to strongly work on this one. So for the interest of time, I will skip on this one, and I will talk on the Moringa. The previous speaker was also talking about the number of species available in this. Moringa stenopicale is very widely known in the Eastern African region, and I will not talk much on that, but I will give some emphasis on Moringa that EPH as well as other different stakeholders working with EPH is doing so far. Moringa was not included in our previous food composition tables. As you guys know, we have developed about 4 food composition tables, and none of these addressed Moringa as a food. But in the currently updated version of the Ethiopian food composition table, Moringa is included as a food item. And apart from this, we are also working on different projects related to Moringa. And this, one of it is, Moringa is also considered as one of the underutilized resources that EPHI is working on to fingerprint with a biomolecular compositions with PTFI initiative. I will talk about what PTFI would mean. And this activity is actually done in collaboration with Urbana University. And again, Moringa is also considered as an opportunity crop for vision for adapted crops and soil. This is an initiative led by the African Union, FAO, and the US State Department. And the aim is just to popularize those underutilized resources of Africa, which are climate resilient, nutritious, and productive. So Moringa is considered among the 60 crops identified by this initiative. So taking into consideration of this initiative, EPHI has also considered to work on Moringa. So the PTFI initiative, this PTFI is the Periodic Table of Food Initiative, which was mentioned by His Excellency, the Deputy Director General of EPHI this morning. So EPHI is already identified as a center of excellence to generate food composition data for all edible biodiversity which is available either in Ethiopia or in the region, East and Central Africa. So this initiative is led by the American Heart Association and the Alliance Biojusticia, which is highly funded by the Rockefeller Foundation and other funders, including the Gates Foundation. So we are serving as regional hub for training and capacity building and generating food composition data in those underutilized resources. Moringa will not be the one of the underutilized resources. We will explore several other underutilized resources in this effort. So, considering the food value of Moringa, Dr. Lemon has already mentioned about this, so I will not take time on the food values, but I will talk about the nutritional composition of Moringa. As part of the Ethiopian Food Composition Table Updates project, we've collected several samples from 4 regions. So we just composited all the samples, and a standardized procedure was applied to generate nutritional data. And a drying technique, which is freeze drying technique, was applied because it retains the nutritional quality of the leaf. So taking into all these processes, we generated several data. 50 plus parameters were analyzed, but I will talk on very few of those parameters just to sensitize the attendees, the participants. Well, of course, the previous speaker has already addressed some of those parameters, but I would like to compare with our own data and with our own vegetables, okay? So in this case, we considered kale, Ethiopian kale, and Moringa, just to compare. Of course, cabbage, the white cabbage and lettuce are also considered. For lettuce, we didn't generate data, but for the three vegetables, 50 plus parameters were already generated. So if you look at the nutrient data, even starting from the energy, okay, there is a significant difference between the energy between Moringa and lettuce as well as cabbage. This takes into consideration on a fresh weight basis. So we are not calculating the data on a dry weight basis because we are consuming the fresh leaf or the cooked vegetable. So this is really an amazing data. Well, like the previous speaker said, I'm not interested to compare data of one food with another food, but we need to appreciate sometimes. So if you look at the fiber content, the fiber exceeds by more than 70% than the other vegetables. And again, you can also consider the protein as well. The data tells you a significant level compared to the three vegetables. And when we look at the mineral data, interestingly, I will not talk about the others, only the calcium and selenium. If you look at the calcium and selenium data, the calcium data in Moringa is about 600 milligrams per 100 grams of the fresh leaves. And this, when compared to lettuce, for instance, or white cabbage, is tremendous difference. Okay, so this is really interesting. And another one is selenium. selenium, as you know, selenium is becoming a serious challenge in our country, as well as crops are deficient due to the low level of selenium in soil. So Moringa does have significant amount of selenium compared to the other seed and the other vegetables. So this helps us to complement those steppe crops which are lacking in those micronutrients. And the data is already shown in this table, but I will not go to the details. And looking into the vitamins, the B vitamins, you can see that there is still a significant, we're reporting on milligram per gram of nitrogen, and the lysine content in those, well, if you compare the different vegetables, almost they are the same, or in some cases, the other vegetables are better than Moringa, but the lysine content in all those vegetables is higher than that we find in cereals. Cereals are deficient in lysine, as you guys know. So we can complement. And you know that this Moringa is consumed in the southern part of the country, along with the cereal staples like maize, sorghum, and other cereals. So this is really interesting. And you also estimated the percentage contribution of amino acid to the daily requirement for children who are in the age range between 6 to 23 months. And the percentage contribution, amazingly, is by far higher than that the cereal staples do provide for these essential amino acids, for the 6 essential amino acids. So we have to promote this kind of crops. And in terms of increasing demand for natural ingredients, growing vegan and vegetarian population, the promotion of those plant protein, as well as growing consumer awareness on the nutritional and health benefits of the crop are driving the Moringa market. So we need to fetch this advantage. And as a way forward, we need to promote the production of Moringa in potential growing areas of the country, and promote technologies to minimize post-harvest losses, as you know. This is an adaptation of Moringa in different regions. It has already started. And train producers on value addition, preparation of Moringa quality control manuals based on international recognition standards, where the standards authority in collaboration with the FDA should do that. Of course, the research institutions should support that as well. Production of diversified products like functional food, protein isolates. As we see, it's really important, so we can extract the protein and fortify those cereal staples to enhance the protein content. And bioactive ingredients like beta-carotene, the global beta-carotene market is very huge, so it's easy to extract the beta-carotene. And partnership and collaboration is also establishing center of excellence. It might also be important to give serious and high attention for leaders. Thank you so much for the interest.
Sorry. Thank you very much. And now we are looking more time because we are laying the foundation there, the nutritional foundation. So I'll allow the next speaker to come. Personally, I will not be as generous as I was really, because he was laying the foundation for the next presentation. So please introduce yourself and then go straight to the presentation. Thank you very much for laying the good foundation.
Okay, thank you. This is Tisu from Marlon University, and I would like to say I think it's good afternoon and collaboration with UNIDO. Here is my presentation outline. I think, as you know, Africa import, of course, from China and from Europe, from USA, and from other countries. You know, as you know, this also as we come to Ethiopia also imported lavishly from USA, from Ukraine, and this agricultural product is worth, it's estimated to be around 3 billion worth agricultural product from Ukraine, from USA, and other Asian countries. And the majority of these commodities include that of cereal crop. We have been importing cereal crops from different parts of the world, including lot of Asian countries, oilseed sugar from Morocco. So it was more than 1 billion USD, which is a little bit heavy. And of course, Dr. Nala mentioned it very well. We have a problem of food and insecurity, food and nutrition insecurity in Ethiopia. Of course, that's mainly due to the climate change, the inflation, and the insecurity situation all over the country. Their adaptability, they are very well adapted to the Ethiopian agroclimatic condition and the cultural acceptance, and they require minimum input. For example, just to grow insects, we don't need to import a single fertilizer, we don't need to import any analyze the pH. As you know, enriching insects with that of Moringa, it doesn't affect the physical-chemical parameters, which is a desirable feature. We had a steady pH reduction, which is a normal process. So, enriching insects with that of Moringa doesn't affect the physical-chemical, not only the physical-chemical, but also the microbial dynamics. Like, for example, if you see the desirable microorganisms, like that of lactic acid bacteria, we don't have any deviation from with the control. So then, meaning that Moringa doesn't have effect on the desirable microorganism, but it inhibited the growth of undesirable microorganisms from the fermenting insect, which is really a very good finding in this research. In terms of nutritional quality, of course, Moringa is really rich in protein, but we try to supplement Moringa with that of fermenting insect with kocho, and that of even we tried with the baked one, of course. Then what we observed is that, like, look, kocho, which is enriched with Moringa, we observed around 42.3% increase in the protein content. Just 50% of like enriching insect-based food products with Moringa, it showed that around 42% increase in protein content, as well as for the baked one especially. But the challenge with the Moringa-based food products in indigenous people is that the dosage and the way they prepare these indigenous food products vary significantly, especially the nutritional content, and there are other parameters. So I don't want to go to this aspect. So for our experimental purpose, we try to collect like Moringa leaf samples, and we filtered it, we milked it, and blended it with freshly processed into the Moringa part for the Moringa one. So we processed insects, which is insects a little bit low in protein content and other micronutrients. We processed insect and we supplemented it with different concentration of like Moringa. We had a very well defined formula for this purpose. Then we tried to investigate the physical-chemical, the microbial, and also we investigated the nutritional profile. We did it like the physical-chemical, the microbial, meaning that we have more vitamin C content while insect in Moringa is being fermented for a certain period of time. And we observed similar changes for other trace elements as well as for other minerals. Specifically, if we see, for example, zinc content, zinc is like in Moringa, the concentration of zinc is a little bit low as compared with that of kocho. When we blend zinc, kocho with that of Moringa, we came to know that there is just a little bit appreciable amount of zinc content on the blended food product. And finally, as we come to the sensory qualities of the blended or the enriched food product, as you can see it here, whenever you had like Moringa, there is assorted, it has very poor sensory quality, even though it's nutritionally rich, but it's a little bit, the sensory quality is a bit it's not like acceptable for non-Moringa consumers. But when we ferment insect with that of Moringa, we got a very good sensory quality. Even you didn't recognize there is a Moringa in this food product. So we had different snacks. We tried to make like bread and other food products from this enriched product. Then it becomes like we significantly improve both the sensory quality as well as the nutritional aspect of this enriched food product. Finally, Moringa is considered as promising, not only for some of the locally available indigenous food products, but it's a promising food fund for other food products just to fight the malnutrition issue. And Moringa has a significant role in enhancing the nutritional profile of the indigenous food products. So we need to collaborate on this issue just to maximize the potential impact of that finding. And we have also another interesting finding, and especially on the bioavailability issue. I think this afternoon we'll have another presentation, especially we compare the Moringa consumers and with non-Moringa consumers, and we try to analyze the bioavailability of some of the micro and micronutrients. Hopefully, in this afternoon, we will have such present. I would like to thank UNIDO and Data Line Agency for the cooperation, for the financial and technical support for this research work. Thank you all.
So you managed to do it within time. Actually, you have some spare time to hand over to him. So thank you very much. It's very interesting. Actually, you are the first person to make me really get into the details of Moringa when we visited the university to get actually more details of Moringa. So I appreciate your presentation a lot. Thank you very much. So please use to introduce yourself and you go into the presentation. So I will stand when the time comes, but I will not stand before the time.
Ethiopian Public Health Institute in Food Science and Nutrition Research Laboratory as a researcher. This work is under a big project, Moringa, that is funded by Ministry of Science and Technology. It has different components, health, economics, and biodiversity and support. I am working on the formulations of complementary food. So the title says evaluations of nutritional quality of complementary food formulated from locally available grains and Moringa Stenopitala in southern Ethiopia. This is my outline. As an introduction, as you know, the micronutrient and protein and energy malnutrition are widely spread form of nutritional problem in our country and the developing country. Based on the Ethiopian National Micronutrient Survey, around 30% of under 5 children were started and 24% of under 5 children underweighting, 10% of under 5 children were wasting. So there are also different micronutrient prevalence in under 5 children. So in order to prevent this malnutrition, the important fortified food and micronutrients may be a challenge because it needs economy and also in terms of sustainability, it is difficult. So they state the easiest and cheapest way of overcoming micronutrient and protein and malnutrition is through blending of locally available food crops. So it is well known Stenopitala indigenous has different purposes and it has also great nutritional value. And the aim of this formulation is one is to prepare the nutritive value, to enhance the nutritive values of maize, soybean, chickpea, and sorghum, soybean, chickpea grains. These food items collected from Southern Agricultural Research Institute and Bishop Agriculture Research Center. So this is processed, cleaning, soaking, roasting, and ground. Then using the linear program model nutritive survey software, we formulated around 14 formulations. This software helps to get at least 16 grams of protein per 100 grams. So we supplemented with 5 and 10% of Moringa Stenopitala powder. The sensory evaluation also done. Porridge for sensory evaluation prepared with water to flour ratio 3:1, and the formulation recipe flour were mixed properly and cooked. So this is simple mixed design was done. The soybean flour we use 40 to 50%, chickpea 30%, sorghum 40 to 50%, in Sinopitala powder is 5 to 10%. So all the analysis is done based on the AOC method. This is flow diagram of the preparations of indigenous for different formulation. The first one shows the raw materials. The second one process with soaking. The third column illustrated about the roasting process, and the fourth one is Moringa acetes, and it is after make to powder, we go to formulation. So we using the statistical analysis spaces to evaluate the sensory attribute and also the ANOVA platform to see the difference between the mean among each formulation. So this one is the 14 trials. The first 4 is raw. The second 2 is as a control or supplemented with Moringa. The 7 to 10 shows the soaking process, and the 11 to 14 is roasted process. Then we also analyze food items that is consumed locally, like kufa and sase. This shows a lot of moisture content in the food items. This one is the ingredients characterized. So they are protein content, moisture, and some minerals. The protein content in Moringa is high, but the roasted soybean has a lot of protein content. This one is the zinc and iron. The raw Moringa zinc content is low, but it has high concentrations of iron. This shows that the approximate results of different formulation. As you can see, the formulation trial 12 is highest energy content that fulfills the World Food Organization and also the WHO that fulfills the complementary food. And the moisture content is similar, and the protein content is highest in formulation 14. The fat content also highest in trial 12, and carbohydrate concentration in raw and also in control is comparable, and the fiber content also highest in the formulation. This one is the mineral concentrations of different formulation. The sodium content, potassium content, and phosphorus in different formulation. The other one, the iron zinc and divided to iron and divided to zinc molar ratio. In all formulation, the divided to zinc molar ratio is lower. That is, indicates it is bioavailable, and the divided to zinc molar ratio also good. So, based on the protein and energy content, we selected 7 formulation: trial 2, trial 4, trial 5, trial 8, 10, 11, 10, 12, and 13. Then we conducted sensory evaluation. Based on the sensory evaluation, we selected formulation trial 10 and formulation trial 2. That is, the first one is blended with 5% Moringa, leaf 45% sorghum, soaked, and 20% chickpea soaked, and 30% soya soaked. Then the trial 12 also selected, that is 5% moringa leaf powder, 45% roasted maize, 30% roasted soybean, and also 20% roasted chickpea as a complementary food. The finding summary, the energy, crude protein, fat, ash, and potassium content of the diet increased significantly with supplemented with Moringa stenopetala, and this could be due to substitution effect Moringa stenopetala as evidenced by the nutritional compositions of the individual ingredients and due to processing. As conclusion, the product development study shows that additions of Moringa stenopetala leaves powder to locally available food ingredients that enhance nutrient value, such as energy, ash, protein, potassium, and fat content. Out of 14 Moringa stenopetala leaf powder and grain flour brain supplements formulation recipe, formulation 10 and 12 are appropriate for complementary food. So blending of Moringa stenopetala with locally available food crop would be an option to mitigate for micronutrient and protein energy malnutrition. I acknowledge the Ministry of Science and Technology, EPHI, Bishop Agricultural Research Center, Southern Agricultural Research Center, and the Food Science and Nutrition Laboratory staff. Thank you.
Researchers are very precise, so we were even before time, you finished before time. I think we'll be able to get sufficient time for questions now. As we embark on the last presentation, I would like you to hand over your questions to Daniel. If you have written your questions, hand them over to Daniel. Daniel, walk around and pick the questions so that we can be efficient in terms of responding to them. Please introduce yourself. You are not the least, but you are the last one to present. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, the facilitator. So I would thank also the organizers for inviting me to present this presentation entitled Moringa Oil Characteristics and Economic Importance. So my name is Reba Wolko. I came from Ambo University. I'm working as a professor in food processing department. So I will try to finish on time because I have a very short presentation. So this one is already described by Dr. Ndada, which is where we are the goal and where the problem is on the same place. So it is very important to make it into consideration to solve especially malnutrition problem. Moringa has significant contribution for this one, okay? And also when you see here, I'm going to see only about the seeds, the others has been already touched. So the seeds are very important for oil production, and also from this oil we can have vegetable oils. It can be used as industrial oil, and it can be used in cosmetics industries. In addition, the meal or the cakes can be used for fertilizers and also for water purifications and animal feed. In addition to that, more specifically, Moringa, the seeds can be used as a potential source of the protein sources, because as Dr. Mulan explained that the seed cake has high potential, so a high source of protein, so it can be used as the potential of the source of the protein. So when you look at here, the Moringa has fatty acid compositions, so it may have around oleic acids around 72%, which is very important for cooking or for since it has highly stable. In addition to that one, also it has very important or unique characteristics in terms of saturated fatty acids, which are the behenic acid, archidic acid, and linolenic acid, which are very important, especially for in cosmetic industries. By the way, what we are all talking about this, which is found from this oil, okay? I don't bring it from anywhere. I didn't bring it from anywhere. So when you look at the fatty acids, this was Moringa stenopetala has 26%, 26.2% of saturated fatty acid, monounsaturated fatty acids has 71, when compared to soybean, it has higher content of this fatty acid profiles. In addition to that, that one omega-6, omega-3 ratio, it has 1 to 2.7, whereas in case of soybean it is 1 to 0.17. According to WHO, it is recommended that 1 to 1 and 1 to 2 is the recommended one. So Moringa fat, omega-6, omega-3 ratio is more recommended, has a recommended amount of ratios for Moringa stenopetala. The other one is the vitamin E. Since actually we didn't do this one, but from the data I found that these are very important for water clarifications. And because the cosmetics this was what was already developed from this oil. This is very important, it contains natural preservatives because of the presence of this antimicrobial property of the oil. In addition to that, it contains also folic acids. In the cosmetic industry, these are responsible for deep penetration through the skin and also moisturizing of the skin, also one of the important things, anti-inflammatory activities, antioxidant activity, and wound healing, and nourishing of bodies of the hair was observed. This was what was developed by ABTI, okay, as Dr. mentioned. This was produced by ABTI Moringa Stenopetala Research Development in Canada. So this one also that is the moisturizer cream, and this one is the normal cream, which is very important for a skin killer type of product. So this one is the unique characteristic of this fatty acid, also alkylic acid. These are the components which is found, the fatty acid profile which is found in the oils, which are very important for environment or smoothing of the property of the skin due to the presence of the alkylic acid and glycolic acid. Benzoic acid is very important for deep penetration through the skins, which is very important as a cream, which have this positive these benefits will be obtained. The other one is in the aesthetic products, extra type of products, especially what the developed countries need to have it is these nano-immersion type of products, which are very important to masking of the bitter taste, any kind of color changes. So this was developed from this Moringa oil, nano-immersion for conflict of interest. And also this stable immersion, it has also off-white color, and also it has opaque in color. And also the droplet size of this one is 180 nanometers, which have mild characteristics of odor, and also this very mild bitter taste is also found in this immersion. So these are also tested that they found after 40 days, there is no color change was observed in different concentration of this nano-emulsified Moringa or infused Moringa oil beverage. So there is no color change was observed, there is no sensory properties, there is no taste changes was observed, and also there is no turbidity was seen in each type of product for about 40 days. This shows that the infused type of product have higher stability and does not have any separation as was not found in different type of the products. So this tells us Moringa oil can be infused in different type of product and can be consumed without notifying the presence of this Moringa oil. So this one is what's really developed, okay? This one is the nano-emulsified type of juice, the oils. So we can take from this one and we can drop it in any type of beverage, what we are going to drink, and we can drink simply, and we didn't find any kind of sense or any kind of sensory change cannot be detected or observed. So this one is also Moringa oil infused coffee. We put 2 ml, 1 ml and 5 ml. So in case of 1 ml and 2 ml, we didn't found any kind of any kind of detected deviations of the quality attributes in terms of sensory. Whereas when we add 5 ml of it, we feel some kind of changes has been observed. So what we recommended is to use 1 to 2 ml of this Moringa oil can be infused. This nano-emulsified Moringa oil is put ground in the coffee, and during the 35 minutes of sensory evaluation, no significant changes was observed, which tells that it is highly stable even in the coffee. So in summary, Moringa can address societal changes while providing the benefits of women's empowerment, as it has been explained previously. And also it's very important, so using of the deforestation, and when we are keeping of that deforestation, we can have improving of or reducing of the carbon dioxide emissions, because we found that Moringa's carbon dioxide sequestration is very high, and this is very important for climate change mitigations, and also disaster risk reduction is going to be taking place. And also in addition to that one, more importantly, it is very important for societal and economic development, because what we are produced, if it is taken into the industries, so the producers are going to be benefited, the industry is going to be benefited, the employees are going to be benefited, intermediate players are going to be benefited, so that's high impact on that one. So the other things protect human health due to the consumption of this healthy food, and also ensure food security, and also environmental and biodegradation and biodiversity loss will be minimized. So this is very important for economic evolution of Moringa. With this, I would like to thank, and also let's bring this on the farm, the Moringa on the farm to industrialized levels. So thank you very much for your attention.
But there is a study to answer this question. Does consumption of Moringa has a negative impact on iron efficiency? It has to be studied. We didn't explore the impact, but what we know is those anti-nutrients like phytic acid, tannins or polyphenols do have negative impact both on micronutrients as well as protein by inhibiting and minimizing the bioavailability. So that has to be studied. Let me read the other questions and my colleagues will answer.
Sorry, I think it's my part, but let me cover part 4 because it relates to Dr. Mala. So this is the protein and the fat content of the Moringa because for the seeds. Research on the seed parts provide plenty of protein. So maybe you can get your question. I think you need to take you need to ask about the seed protein. The seed has high protein content, especially in the after starting of the oil. So that's around from about 40 to 50% of the protein is born in the Moringa seed cake, which is very important as a source of for other purposes as a protein source. That it could be used for another purpose or for another application, for industrial or maybe for pharmaceutical business or both that. Even as it has been divided into two parts, so proteins and solar proteins. So those are also around 40 or 5%. It is used as a source of agricultural proteins. To be more accurate. Okay, I can share that I didn't comment here, but it's the potential source of the proteins. That is
Okay, I have a couple of questions. One is there any attempt or success with developing food safety and quality specifications for Moringa fortificants? Well, I can answer particularly the effort done by the European Standard Authority and other partners in developing food standards, standards for leaf powder and beverages as well as other tea, for instance, Moringa leaf tea. So standards considering these products is already developed, but I mean, of course there are other interests coming, including standard for oil. The European Standard Authority will consider that, otherwise the safety as well as the quality specifications could also be addressed when standard is developed for these products. So I know that we will develop 3 products and the standard for 3 products by the European Standard Authority. And the other one is, was there any research done for exploring potential linkage of moringa value chain with the school feeding, life fortification? There has been no effort there. But interesting there. With this particular project, in collaboration with Indigo, we wanted to link this effort with the school feeding program, because there is a huge interest in that area as well, and we know that it could fill the gap in nutrient deficiency in this target population, so this is an area of interest to be considered. The other one is, have any of the research findings presented today endorsed on national development, Ministry of Agriculture? The Ministry of Agriculture, well, EPHI is the host of this workshop established with UNIDO, and most of the study findings came out of EPHI, Jago's presentation, my presentation, and others also came out of the EPHI, and EPHI is a technical arm of the Ministry of Health, so it's already known finding. The others, the universities, data generated by university researchers, is also an actual finding once it is reviewed by the expert group in particular institutions. So these are questions which I can see in my table.
There are more questions, and there's one here which is very interesting. If you can read it about anti-aging. Yes. Yeah, there is. If you can read it, and then you answer it, yes. Have you done the anti-aging research?
Yes, it's very interesting questions. So yes, it has anti-aging properties because it knows that vitamin E plays a role for anti-aging properties. One, due to the composition what we mentioned, is the vitamin E. In addition to that, there is phytosterols. These are the bioactive compounds which plays antioxidant activities. If they are playing as antioxidant activity, when you put it on the skin, it may have it also. It's obvious that it is scavenging on radicals. It may healing of the problems. As long as doing that one, it is very important for keeping on the health of the skin. In addition to that one, we did the experiment on the skin of the skin that representing the real skin of the human being. So it is found that it's keeping the health of the consumer. It was predicted that this oil, actually it is not in the leaves of that one, but the oil has this kind of effects. So anti-aging properties are the major functions of the oil.
Okay, one question that was availability of iodine with consumption of Moringa. We did the cost study, so in TSH, T3, and T4, no significant difference with the Moringa consumed and non-consumed population, so not as such effective because there is a hydrogen cyanide, but it is simply sublimed through food process, so not affect as such the iodine nutrition. The other question is why you use chickpea and soybean since they are high in protein content. They have high in protein content. Yes, we assume the cereal that is potentially harvested in southern nation. We consider cereals that is sorghum and maize, and as you know, the Moringa leaf lacks carbohydrate and fat, so we supplement the fat content with soybean, and that's why we consider from oilseed. So by this assumption, we use both chickpea and soybean. The other one is which product has.
I guess this is one more question about the cost-benefit analysis regarding cotton and Moringa blend. I think just for the interest of data, we try to analyze it, like we convert it like using dry matter basis. But if we make it on wet basis, it's economically, it's totally feasible. Even the selling price of like oil Moringa blend is much less than that of the wheat flour in the market now. So it's economically, it's really feasible, as well as it can easily be, as Dr. Dana mentioned, it can easily be integrated into the school feeding program. Just we can have like a nutrient-dense snacks or any other product for this product. So it's 100% locally sourced and also nutrient-dense. So it's totally like economically it's feasible.
Okay, there are more, but there's one here, and I think I would like to ask it loud concerning the medicinal properties of Moringa. Is there a study yet done enough to consider Moringa as a treatment? Yeah, it contains a treatment for disease. Have you ever done a study that Moringa can be used for treating any disease? In terms of medicinal, in the afternoon. They said they will answer in the afternoon. And then there's one here talking about in the process of production, how do you keep the safety issues? I think this one will answer as you need. In terms of safety issues, we've been working on this and we've collaborated actually with FCCC 22000 Foundation, and we've been training from the SPS to the food safety side. So on the farm side, we do the SPS issue in terms of handling the hygiene issues and all that, so that when we get the product, is processed in a hygienic environment. So we train the farmers, and from the seed itself, and even from the nursery aspect of it, so from the clean planting material, SPS issues involved. So this we've done with the farmers that we're working on, and also with FAO for the farmers that they are working on. So safety is taken care of at the planting all the way to processing the safety issues is built on. Even before we do the construction and the installation of the processing plant, we already train. And even the plant itself, we designed with the safety in mind. So when we went to the structure, we found the structure was not fit for food processing. We upgraded it. We said we have to upgrade it to the level of food processing, not after, but before we bring the machinery. So this has been taken care of throughout the process as part of the capacity building, and we hope it will be regulated by the industry, so that when you're setting up, you have a food safety expert with you that helps you with the plan and the layout of this product. We have, I don't know how much you can allow us to extend. How many minutes do you allow for questions? So let me just also ask you, because we have a lot of questions here. How many minutes can we extend before you go for lunch? We already past our lunch time. We are now at 7 minutes past 1. Can we go up to 20 past? Do you allow or allow only 5 minutes? How many minutes? Can you allow 10 or 5? 5 minutes? They say 5 minutes. So this is, I want to apologize, especially for the researchers here. I didn't handle this session the way it's supposed to be handled because of time.
Culturally accepted, so I think we can work more on that. And the other thing that maybe we can all explore together is with this Moringa powder, if there is any possibility of just using that as a condiment to add it, because for our school feeding program we also have this fresh food inclusive school meal program that we are trying to include just to fill the micronutrient gap. So maybe if there is also any possibility of using this Moringa powder as a condiment, that would be also another entry point for us. But I think let me leave it now on this, and then maybe we can bilaterally discuss more on this, and I can take this to my management for further endorsement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Somebody wanna?
Thank you very much. Oh, yes, sure. Please, sorry. Absolutely. In fact, I want to
ካስዲያን ሶካሌትስ ቶስ ሀይሳተ ዱናተና አሸበራ ገጸና አሸበራ ማሽን ሰማላም ራኮድ እንትና ቴሌቪዥን ጋር አባስ አሸራሸ ሀራሶ ከተማያ ሶፕላስ አጫና ሰሰተቀምተ
የዓለም ሀገራት ለሚያጋጥሙ በርካታ የጤና ችግሮች ቀላል መፍትሄን የሚሰጡ እንደሆኑ ከሚነገርላቸው እጽዋት መካከል ሞሪንጋ ወይም ደግሞ በኢትዮጵያዊ ስያሜ አጠራሩ ሽፈራው አንዱ ነው። ይህ ተክል ታዲያ በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥም የሚገኝ ነው። በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ከ13 በላይ ዝርያዎች አሉት። ይህ የተክል ወይም ደግሞ የእጽዋት አይነት በተለይ ለጤና የተሻለ የሆነ መድኃኒትነት እንዳለው ይጠቀሳል። ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የሚገኘውን ሞሪንጋ ወይም ሽፈራው በመላው ዓለም ለማስተዋወቅ እየተሰራ መሆኑን በኢትዮጵያ የዩኒዶ የቴክኒክ አማካሪ ለምለም ሲሳይ ተናግረዋል።
ሞሪንጋ ስቴኖፔታላ ግሎባሊ አይታወቅም። ግን እኛ በርካታ ጥናቶች እኛ ብቻ ሳይሆን የአዲስ አበባ ዩኒቨርሲቲ መምህራን በርካታ ምሁራን ብዙ ጥናቶች ሰርተዋል። ከሞሪንጋ ኦሊፌራ የማይተናነስ እንደውም ከዛ የተሻለ ብዙ ንጥረ ነገሮች እንዳሉት ይታወቃል። ስለዚህ አሁን ምንድነው እየሰራን ያለነው ሞሪንጋ ስቴኖፔታላ ለዓለም ገበያ ለማቅረብ ለማስተዋወቅና ለማስመዝገብ ባሉ ስራዎች ላይ ከሌሎች አገር ካሉ ተመራማሪዎችና ኢንስቲትዩሽን ጋር በጋራ እየሰራን ያለው።
ሞሪንጋ የምግብ ዋስትናን ከማረጋገጥ ባለፈ ለሰው ልጅ አስፈላጊ የሆኑ የተለያዩ ንጥረ ነገሮችን የያዘ በመሆኑ ጠቀሜታው የጎላ መሆኑን የኢትዮጵያ ሕብረተሰብ ጤና ኢንስቲትዩት ዋና ዳይሬክተር ጌታቸው ቶሌራ ተናግረዋል።
የምግብ ዋስትናን ከማረጋገጥ አንጻር ትልቅ ሚና ነው ያለው። እንግዲህ ቅድም ፕሬዘንቴሽኑም ላይ ስቀርብ እንዳስተዋል ነው ሞሪንጋ የተለያዩ ባህሪያቶች አሉት። የተለያዩ ባህሪያቶች ከሚባሉት ውስጥ አካባቢን በምተከልበት ጊዜ አፈርን በተሻለ መልኩ እንዳይሸረሸር፣ ሁለተኛም ደግሞ የተለያዩ አፈር ውስጥ የሚገኙ ማዕድናቶችን ከመያዙ አንጻር ድርቅን ከመከላከል አንጻር ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ ያደርጋል። ሁለተኛ የምግብ ባህሪውም ምናልባት ከተለያዩ ምግቦች የምናገኛቸው የቫይታሚኖች ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ፣ ሚነራሎች ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ። ሌሎች ደግሞ ከነጭራሹኑ ምግቦቹ ስለማናገኛቸው አንቲኦክሲደንት የሚባሉን ጠቅልሎ ከመያዙ አንጻር የምግብ ፍላጎት በተሟላ አንጻር ከመስጠት አንጻር አንድ ምግብ ሆኖ ብዙ ከመስጠት አንጻር ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ አለው ማለት ነው።
በኢትዮጵያ የዩኒዶ ተወካይ ኦሪሊያ ካልቢሮ ሞሪንጋ በስፋት ጥቅም ላይ እንዲውል ከኢትዮጵያ መንግስት ጋር በቅርበት እየሰራን ነው ብለዋል።
This moringa, it is called moringa, and in Ethiopia is also an endemic species.
የሞሪንጋ ተክል በዓለም ላይ በርካታ አይነት ዝርያ ሲኖረው በኢትዮጵያ ያለው ግን ልዩና ከሌላው ተመራጭ ያደርገዋል። ይህ ተክል በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ እንዲተዋወቅና በሰፊው ጥቅም ላይ እንዲውል ከደቡብ ክልል ግብርና ቢሮ ጋር በጥምረት እየሰራን ነው። ለጤና ካለው ጥቅም አንጻር ከኢትዮጵያ ሕብረተሰብ ጤና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋርም አብረን እየሰራን ነው።
ሞሪንጋ በርካታ የጤና ጥቅሞች እንዳሉት በዘርፉ የተደረጉ ጥናቶች ያመለክታሉ።